Next, it brings us to the business and marketing writing, where we're talking about your catchy titles, how to include all these things as keywords into your content, the entire structure, how it needs to be planned. We prefer not giving and going for larger paragraphs, but going for shorter sentences and smaller paragraphs. So here's a small example that I would want you to go through when it comes to the best blogs. What makes it the best blog, and why are we talking about blogging? Because blog at this point in time is something that every business website requires. So under this module, we are also going to talk about search engine optimization, which is SEO writing, blogging, social media, ebook writing, magazines, newsletters, etc., which are broadly covered under any business. Next, we're going to also talk about your press releases, your book reviews, the product descriptions, resumes, cover page writing, not just their templates, but also in-depth writing of each of these. So it's a bigger umbrella that we are covering here. It next brings us to module 4, which is going to talk about our content strategy. So when it comes to writing a content, now you've got all information in terms of grammatical accuracy, in terms of how you're going to utilize the various internet skills, how you're going to talk about various things on the web. But now, how are you going to strategize all this content? So this is one basic rule that is given to every writer. Your writing is to researching time. There has to be a complete sync between these two. Your strategic goals of the organization have to be kept in mind. What important message the organization wants you to give or deliver to the ultimate audience has to be kept in mind. So here, a complete mind map has to be created when you're writing. It's not just about the introduction, main body, and ending, it's a lot more. So, this mind map basically takes the analysis, comprehension, synthesizing, and recall portion into picture. Here, as a writer, all these things have to be synced properly. Why? Because if there is any lag in any of the portion, the entire machinery won't work, the entire picture won't be clear. Here, when we start drawing a mind map, these are a few things that we keep in our mind. In the middle of a blank page, start writing or start drawing whatever comes to your mind. When you hear about a typical topic, like if you just remember a few minutes back, we had completed a complete picture. We had created a word bank of terms related to content writing. Whatever comes to your mind, whether it be words, whether it be phrases, pour them in on that picture. Start developing your subtopics. Each of those words came in from a different subtopic. So give it a different nod, connect each of them with a central line. What was our central line? Our central line was content writing. Repeat the same process n number of times for generating n number of leads. And you're going to come up with n number of reasons to research and connect and create. So here in topic 4, we are going to learn about how are we going to talk about effective content. How is it different from general content? The broadest structure of content writing over the social media. Each of these social media platforms, Twitters, Facebook, Instagram, are different and unique in their own way. When we compare each of these have their individual USPs. Thus, the content that we are pitching and that we are posting on these social media websites have to be different. When we're talking about creating and promoting brands as an individual, as a market, in the market, there are multiple things that are there. But what makes our content different as a writer should be strategic content. What are the know-hows? How do we need to go about it, etc., have to be very much clear to us. Now, here, when we are talking about the entire market, we need to understand how are we targeting the market, in what target segments are we dividing this market. The entire roadmap has to be created for the strategic content. A very common question that comes to me as a trainer is about writer's block. After writing n number of pieces for one given business, this is very much common that it comes that there is repetition of content. People start repeating and people start copying. So it's a big writer's block, but the solution to it is also in it. And we are here in this course defining that solution. We are telling writers how to come over that roadblock and how to move smoothly. Then the entire mind map has to be talked about in terms of creating an outline, creating an objective behind the writing. So here in module 4, this is all about it. Next, we move on to module 5, which is all about technical and research writing. So when we talk about the technical writing, it is an introduction to your manuals, your journals, your articles. I've already talked about all of these in details and their usage. So now here we are talking and moving from the creative aspect to the technical aspect. And we need to understand technical jargons are very important. But when it comes to writing, use of simple terms should be used. Even when you're using an acronym as a whole, the acronym should be explained to the readers. You're not expecting the readers to be technical experts as you are when it comes to technical writing. So here, clear understanding of what your client is requiring is very much important when it comes to any kind of content. So you have to be very much specific. You have to define in what breakup are you writing your content, what listing and short selections are you doing, because again, ultimate requirement of your client has to be met. You have to be accurate. Your content has to be complete as well. It shouldn't look at any point in time that you are just running away with the content to cover up the portion that is given to you. It has to be elaborate enough and enough justification has to be given to the content. Majorly in this, we are going to talk about research paper writing, thesis, grant writing, manuals, project reports, FAQs. FAQs form a major domain of the internet module. Why? Because here, the frequently asked questions are the most important to give any kind of description to a given course. If you go onto our website, there are multiple courses that Henry Harvin offers, but each of these courses also has along with it frequently asked questions that people have. Questions like, is it going to be an online course? Is it going to be an offline course? Am I going to receive any kind of study material, etc.? These are commonly asked questions for any kind of a course. So all these questions are also framed in accordance by some writer. They have been updated from time to time because questions that people ask are updated from time to time. Thus, all these things form a greater part of our module, that is module number 5. This brings us to the 6th module, which is academic writing. Now here, in today's era, we all know that the new normal is the internet, the laptop, the Wi-Fi connection has to be, the broadband has to be perfect. Why? Because people are taking classes and sessions online. This brings us to the academic domain of writing, and in this style of writing, we're going to cover study materials, academic guides, tutorials, e-learning, instructional designs, question banks, workbooks, coursewares, rubrics, etc. All these are different and unique in their own way. Like, a question bank is quite different from an instructional design and a workbook. A workbook is that help book that the child is going to take in addition to the main support book that is given to him to read. Question bank refers to the complete summary of the questions that are possible from a given chapter or from a given learning part. The rubrics are basically defined when it comes to judging a child. While one chapter completes or one topic or subtopic completes, I need to check the understanding of my learner. My learner needs to be assessed on certain given parameters. But what are these parameters? How do I, as a trainer, as a teacher, get to know about them? All these are defined parameters. I cannot judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. Similarly, I cannot judge all my learners on one single aspect. There are multiple aspects, rubrics of which I have to create for all my learners. This brings us to the next module, which is our creative writing module. Now, here in this module, creative writing is defined at length. Here, we're going to talk about script writing, we're going to talk about blogging, we're going to talk about copywriting, search engine optimization, proposal writing, etc. Each of these things give you wider domain to think and choose from. You're not limited by structure here, you're limited by word limit, definitely, or timing, especially when it comes to writing a script. Writing a script for a short film versus writing a script for an advertisement versus writing a script for a play. Each of these are separate domains. So script writing has multiple domains as each of these individual topics have. So now here, giving you a small example of how to write a script, we introduce the characters first, give it some kind of a setting. Next, we want to know how the climax is rising. We are moving towards the climax, the action rises. Next, we come to the climax itself, that is the battle, and which is followed by a conclusion. But immediately after the climax, we cannot jump on to the conclusion. There are small nitty-gritties that we need to focus upon. So here, this brings us to dialogue writing, creative writing, script writing, fiction writing, article writing. All these are different and unique in their own ways. Module 8 is actually a complete closure or a complete binding of the complete module. Why? Because here we are talking about earning online and talking about international projects as well. So here you are talking about each of these things. How? Let's move ahead and let's see. So now we also give you opportunities wherein we help you revamp your resumes, we help you revamp the specificities of a given job type. Develop skills in the high paying content types such as resume writing, technical writing, book writing, vernacular languages, and focusing on each of these things with their nitty-gritties. So here we are going to cover a lot many things, which includes your writing projects that are available online, choosing the right project. It's not necessary that each one of you might be good at creative writing only. Someone might even be good at technical writing, proposal writing, resume writing, anything. It's a bigger umbrella, and you can choose multiple topics from there. Blogging, escrows, creating your own accounts, ghostwriting, etc. All these would be discussed at length in detail with you during the course. Here are a few recent stories that people from our batches who recently passed have shared. Like we have Khyati, who started her own venture for writing. Zeenat has become a famous author and is now selling her ebooks on Amazon. We have Chandu, who got promoted in his recent job. Chitral, who got a job opportunity which was provided by Henry Harvin. So let's first take a few questions that have appeared in the Q&A and the chat box, and then I'm going to give you a small detailing about what Henry Harvin is, what do we do here, etc. So here someone is asking, what is spinning software? Spinning software is a software which helps you remove plagiarism of content by spinning the article completely, rewriting it completely. But again, this is just a tool, artificial intelligence. It can easily be caught. There are similar softwares on the internet which catch spinning. Okay, now here, SEO refers to search engine optimization. The content that you're pasting or posting on the internet gets uploaded on the internet. But what makes their ranking so? Google ranks each of these things in an order. How do they do so? Depending on the amount of keywords that you have used. Overuse of keywords is again not suggested, but right amount of usage. So what that right amount of usage is, you'd get to know during the course. Someone has asked, what is AI? AI stands for artificial intelligence. We are using everything on the internet, something that is coming written on its own, something that we are posting and someone is rewriting it. All that is a part of artificial intelligence. Someone else, machinery behind, is doing it for us. Are there any weekend courses? Yes, there are both weekdays as well as weekend courses as well. So projects are both, again, I'm repeating, freelancing projects as well as full-time projects. So here, when we are talking about all these projects, these will be told to you during the course. You'd be receiving mails from the team and you'd be getting to know about the course. So let's find out a few things in detail about the course. So the course duration is 32 hours. Both live and online sessions are available, but due to the ongoing pandemic, we are preferring only online courses. There's an extra 24 hours live online brush-up session along with 50 hours of e-learning access. The trainers are definitely seasoned people from the industry who have almost n number of years of experience. Internship is guaranteed, as I had stated earlier. Alumni status, I have already shared a few. I'm going to share a few alumni status as well in the later half with you. You can also find these online on YouTube, on our Google page, etc. The certification is a hallmark of CDCW, and it has to be next to your name. Definitely, you are opting for it, so it has to be from your name. And here we are talking about n number of things. So let's understand these n number of things in detail. Like when you're talking about the e-learning access, it includes your recorded videos, your games, your projects, as well as case studies. The brush-up sessions would include 12 monthly brush-up sessions for 1 complete year. And the complete package is 6,000 rupees, but it appears for you for free if you're opting for the course. Your writing academy opportunities, wherein job opportunities every week would be shared with you people.